in the jungles of Costa Rica. Speed is everything for the basilisk lizard. When you prey on winged insects, you need to be quick, because your prey moves fast, really fast. So when the basilisk is in a hurry, it displays one of the most spectacular capabilities in nature. A true superpower. This flat-footed reptile is so fast and so light that it can run across the surface of the water at speeds as much as 5 feet per second. But speed alone doesn't make this superpower possible. Long toes on their rear feet, along with fringes of skin that unfurl to meet the water, create little air pockets under the lizard's feet, and the air pockets give the lizard lift. A true superpower in nature. If any predators deserve to be called a mob, it's the meerkats of South Africa. And that's just what they are called, a mob. 20 is a typical size, but some mobs number more than 40. Meerkats aren't cats. These mammals belong to the mongoose family. They hunt as a pack. But before they can go on offense, they have to mount a defense. The reason is simple. At only about 2 pounds and just a foot long, meerkats are vulnerable to other predators. So, for protection, one member finds a termite mound or shrub and keeps watch. If the sentry spots trouble, he'll bark. He'll be relieved in about an hour so he too can forage. Meantime, he constantly gives the meerkat signal for all clear. With a lookout posted, the rest of the mob can come out of their burrow and hunt. They hunt small mammals, like this squirrel, not always with success. Insects and scorpions are dietary staples too. They'll team up to turn over rocks and help each other dig. Its fingers are tipped with curved claws nearly an inch long. The prize inside the box, scorpion. The sting would kill a young human, but the tiny meerkat is immune. It bites off the scorpion's tail, leaving nothing else to waste. Let's face it, most caterpillars already look pretty strange, but their behavior isn't. Larvae of both moths and butterflies, most caterpillars spend their short lives inching from leaf to leaf, munching on vegetation. But this caterpillar isn't a vegetarian. It's a professional killer. On the island of Hawaii, 18 of the 20 native species of caterpillar have evolved into carnivorous predators. Perfectly camouflaged and armed with sharp, pincer-like claws, the larva cuts a channel into the leaf and waits. Other species mimic twigs or leaves, and these unsuspecting fruit flies never had a chance. No one knows why Hawaii's caterpillars turned into insect eaters, but one thing's for certain. In the evolutionary soup of isolated islands, it's easy to dish up something bizarre. For this macho frontiers fish, life's just too easy. It can breathe air through its skin and water stored in its gills. It can swim and hop and even climb trees. But what this strapping young skipper can't always do is get the girl. A mud skipper's life revolves around his burrow, the Swiss Army knife of residences. Using his mouth as a shovel, he spits the dirt out. If he successfully woos a female, she will accompany him to lay her eggs for him to watch over. But the burrow is not just his baby mama's crib. It's a spa. He must keep his body continually cool if he needs to seek out some shade down the hatch. It's a castle if a predator lurks nearby. Down the hatch. If a rival male approaches, he's not just going to go inside and lock the door. He warns off the encroacher by giving him the middle fin. Flip off, pal. This is my land. If dorsal fin dominance doesn't scare him off, they will engage in a contest of gaping to show who's boss. Victory is his. Time for a rebreather. Down the hatch. And if he's smart, he'll stay there for a while, lest he end up like his rival. Down the hatch. When you've got fur instead of feathers, going airborne takes some guts. But the flying squirrel never hesitates to leap into the void. Luckily, he comes equipped with a built-in parachute. A membrane stretches from wrist to ankle, turning the squirrel into a living, breathing paper airplane. With each leap, the squirrel takes aim and spreads its body into a square. A cartilage rod attached to their wrists helps them steer during flight. The rodents glide through the forest like ghosts, their tails acting as a stabilizer and a brake. They may look like daredevils, but flying squirrels have plenty to be scared of. Snakes, owls, raccoons, and even cats constantly hunt them. But no matter what, this squirrel will always have an escape plan. Gliding is like a built-in life insurance policy. Wingless predators need not apply. The Flying Dragon can glide half the length of a football field and still swoop in for a perfect three-point landing. Loose folds of skin on the lizard's sides expand into a cape attached to its ribs, enabling it to glide. Though clumsy on the ground, safety from predators is only a jump away. You may not always need wings to take to the air, but fins aren't normally associated with flying. Yet some fish spend a remarkable amount of time out of their native element, especially if they're driven by an incredibly strong homing instinct. Most adult salmon spend their lives at sea. But when it comes time to lay eggs, they head home to the river they were born in, a journey that can take thousands of miles. That's one heck of a class reunion. Swimming as far as 50 miles a day upstream in a raging torrent isn't exactly easy. If there's something in the way, there's only one option: jump. Legends once told that salmon hurled themselves over waterfalls by taking their tails in their mouths and flinging their bodies into the air like a bow from an arrow. Not exactly. Instead, it's all about timing. The fish use strong upward currents created when falling water displaces the water beneath it. The currents help propel them over waterfalls and rapids. But they don't just depend on river conditions. These fish have more moves than an Olympic high jumper. They can leap more than 10 feet into the air. But charging upstream and jumping waterfalls is much more than the fish equivalent of the decathlon. It's a death wish. When the salmon are running, even the laziest predators have easy pickings. The fish have to just keep swimming and hope for the best. But for their future babies, life will be even harder. Less than 10% of fry will survive to make the same journey. Given those odds, a bear's jaws start to look pretty good. This is the 70s swinger of the sea slug world, the sea hare. Named for the rabbit ear-shaped growths on its head, these floppy rhinophore tentacles actually are the creature's nose, which it uses to find food and mates. It floats gracefully through the water on its two wing flaps, seemingly without a care. And why not? It's toxic, making it extremely unpopular with predators. It dines on algae and seaweed, available everywhere. And when it's time to mate, it calls up everyone in its little black book. Everyone. Sea hares are hermaphrodites. They contain both male and female sex organs. The first sea hare acts solely as a female and is mounted by a second sea hare, who acts as a male to the first and female to a third, and so on down the line, to the last hare, who acts only as a male. A pregnant sea hare will lay spaghetti-like strands of millions of eggs, anchored for safety to the kelp beds. A bird nerd rarely gets the girl. Just ask this avian Casanova, the manakin. There are over 50 species of this showy little bird, and they all go full out to court the ladies. At breeding time, the brightly colored males stake out a staging area called a lek, the bird equivalent of a singles bar. A branch serves as the dance floor. The act isn't all snazzy steps. Sound is just as important. The buzzes, whirs, and snaps may catch a lady's eye. But the noise also warns other males. Back off, she's mine. And if all else fails, show some leg. The competition is so fierce that only alpha males will mate. Now that makes online dating look easy.